Oh,
So
you're
again,
criminalized.
formally.
Okay.
We pretend to have interest, right? So not just MS-13, but organizations like organizations that are influenced by running. So let me tee up a plan of action so that we go after our current problems. Then after that, we can have some resources.
You know, white supremacists.
So
I mean, we have a white supremacist problem as well. We have Richard Spencer now, right?
Sure. And I've actually brought this up, so I'm glad you guys are talking about it now. So this isn't the first day on the campaign trail. We've actually been involved with a lot of topics. We had just last week, full practice story for nurses. We didn't talk about that tonight.
Right, but we did talk about gun control, and the first thing you brought up was MS-13.
Right, because there's a campaign. This is how we do it from a federal government.
So you would prioritize MS-13 over white supremacy?
So it's not about prioritization, it's about what's
It
going on.
is when you only have 60
I can't be
seconds,
allowed
right?
to finish the question. I don't think that's fair.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is we have in Northern Virginia an MS-13 problem. It's been identified right now at the local, state, and federal. Our local law enforcement have also agreed this is an issue. And there's things I cannot talk about, which I will not, because I'm not allowed to disclose that information. But from what's out there in the reports, first of all, I'm a minority, so you know this is going to be a problem for me, right? I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia. I actually was very poor, and I experienced racism, and I've experienced it not just in America, but also overseas. So when you talk to a person who's an activist, I have a lot of time to address these things, but you got to understand it's going to take us time. The thing is, it's not just MS-13. We have addressed these other issues. And if you go on the website, you'll see that. We've actually have
Today,
addressed
what
it.
we're talking about today, I can read, but I mean...
We talked about it, so you
Yeah,
can't
but
just say...
I just don't understand why you would prioritize attacking MS-13.
Especially because you were putting it, let's put it into the
Let's talk,
context.
this is a good conversation.
Yeah,
about it.
let's put it into the context. All right, so we know that Gillespie came out with these ads
Sure.
the past couple of weeks where it was basically all of this coded language.
You guys catching this? This is good conversation. This is community engagement. It's very important.
All this coded language.
Sure.
And you're talking about the racism that comes up. This is the racism that the Latino community is feeling. You see what the messaging is, and it's basically criminalizing our people. And by you stating that tonight, by literally no other group, but the only group that you were specific about was MS-13, then it's that same coded language.
So here's a question for both of you then, all of you. What can we do together to work together to put a message out there that's going to be all-inclusive? And I'm willing to work with everybody to make sure that we correct this, because I'm a young leader, and I think we've got a lot of development and learning to do. So I'm happy to work with you personally to do a video to engage the community so we can say, listen, it's not all Latino people that are having this, that are a part of this. Let's work together, and I'm open to that. So if you are willing to have me, I'm willing to work with you, and that's what I'm about.
Why didn't you just say that today when you were right there? And you had your rebuttal in the following question, correct? So I don't know why you would. If
And
you
your
feel that way,
rebuttal, your counter was like your defense was that you have a Latino daughter.
Sure.
Like that was. From there, you felt like that was enough to justify the criminalization?
Well, first off, it's not a justification. It's the fact that I understand. So the fact that the previous aforementioned statement was that this is an attack on Latino people, that wasn't fair. So I'm telling you now that I spend a lot of time in the Latino community, and it's not fair that they're going to paint me as a person who's going after the Latino community, and in a sense in which I have a Latino daughter. So I care about culture. I've served this country in war. I've been to 13 countries. I work every day, 18 hours a day, and I love this people in America. So every single culture, from minority to Muslim to different religions, I have been there every step of the way, and I have struggled a very long time to get to where I am. My people have been hurt, and I'm having to address these issues. So what I need everybody to do now is work together. This is not about a rebuttal. It's about a community having a discussion so that we can advance the American people. So I'm here for that.
What we need you to do then is to be conscious of when you're talking, to not be using that code of language, not to be criminalizing our community. Because if you're with us, like you say you are, then that's what you need to be doing. Because I know you wouldn't like it if someone said that about black people, right? Right? Because you're black. You know what it's like. So you need to do the same thing for the Latino community. So you need to be careful and not to your first answer be, oh, MS-13, because MS-13 is linked to Latinos, and Latinos are linked to the undocumented.
especially because you're running with the Republican Party, who is using that racist ass rhetoric.
Okay,
right
so
now.
are you guys willing to work with us, or what? What can we
Working
do?
But I understand who it is. What do you
So
mean
you're saying
working
that, you're
with us?
saying that the messaging is off. I'm saying, what is the solution right now for us to make sure that the messaging is on point?
that your actions are also following with this messaging as well. That's the thing. Like
So,
I
looking for
how
a
much
solution,
of a
right?
trust? Yes.
So what is the solution? I'm asking you, from now to November and after November, what can we do? Because I'm a solution-based person. We can beat around the bush, or we can address the discussion, which is let's work together as a community and address this. So my question to you, again, is what can we do? Is it messaging on a social media platform? Is it outreach to our local law enforcement? Is it outreach to a specific community? Is it bringing everybody together for a community forum? Is it a town hall meeting? What is the solution that you
How about you
need
talk to the entire GOP of Virginia, including Ed Gillespie, and tell them to stop using this racist ass rhetoric of targeting MS-13 and painting the entire Latino community as criminals.
Okay, so
that.
I will have a discussion with
No,
Ed.
no, we want it done. We don't
Yeah, we want it
it's not
done,
just
and
a
then
discussion. It needs to-
I'm
it needs to
agreeing
happen.
that we're going to have a discussion,
Okay.
right? So that's perfectly fine. I'll give you my information for you to follow up, and you can engage me directly, and I have no problem. So let me have some time
Yeah, because-
to engage that community and also our leadership, and I have no problem getting back to you and working with you.
Right,
on
because
this.
I want to put it into this context. The reason why it is about just having the conversation with Gillespie is because we know where our community is.
Right.
We know how the criminalization and with the fear that goes along with that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we want you to be talking to Gillespie is he is your comrade. He is in your party, and he's the one that, basically, you'll be following his order if he ends up being the governor.
No, let's go ahead and clear that up now. As a military person, there are individual leaders within an organization, the same as the Democrats and the same as the Republicans. My job is not to fall in line. I'm not a fall in line guy. I'm a fighter. As you saw up there, I fight. So there's no falling in line. There is my community has a voice, this is the voice, and this is what I'm going to say. I have never been a person that backed down my entire life. I'm not to be controlled. I will always fight. And you can see that in my voice and in my energy that I'm not the one to play with, because I believe that the voice of the people has to be heard, and I'm not going to stop at anything, whether it's the Democrats or Republicans. I will be that voice.
And for right now, honestly, having not known you any further, this is rhetoric. And from here, we will be following up because it is a concern. And yeah, if you speak to Mr. Gillespie, then you have to come with this message. You have to be straight about how it is that it's being criminalization.
I want to ask another question too. So I can talk to the party as a whole.
Yeah.
And I also want to ask you, what is going on the Democratic side? Because I think this is
We're not Democrats.
You're just independents.
Yeah,
Okay.
nonpartisan.
So I want to be able to have the all-inclusive discussion is really what I'm getting at. But I'll start with my particular folks in the GOP, and I can be a liaison, but let's have the discussion. I think this is very healthy for us because most people can't even do that. They can't even come and have a conversation. They walk out, they leave, and before you know it, the issue's still on the table. So I really appreciate you addressing me. And it's a hard topic.
So can we get a promise from you that you will never criminalize the Latino
Well,
community,
I mean, how can you ask
especially
me?
using
You need a promise.
MS-13 like that?
As a
So
coded word.
I will tell you that we will work on our messaging. I can't make a promise because then again, I will tell you right now that I may mess up tomorrow. Perhaps you don't like what I had to say and you say you broke a promise. What I am promising you now is that I will work on the messaging to make sure that it does not suck in all Latino people to make it seem like they are criminals as a group of people, which I don't believe that that's the case, and I know it's not the case. But I will work on the messaging to make sure that
I don't think we'd ever disagree if you said, I will, when I'm having discussions about the Second Amendment like today, I will not bring up MS-13 as a sort of
Your go-to example.
towards to show why there is abuse of gun rights.
Use the KKK. Use the alt-right. Use the neo-Nazis that we
I
done in
mentioned the
Charlottesville.
transnational criminal organization. So again, that was captured on video footage. So again, that was mentioned. So just to be clear, I didn't just say MS-13. I also mentioned transnational criminal, which is what I stated in my statement. So I stand firm on that. I didn't just say MS-13. I said transnational criminal organizations, and then for example. So I think that's a fair statement. Like again,
But
I
why,
will massage.
again, it's a coded message, right? Why did you not instead bring up the alt-right, the KKK, the Nazis? Because it's the same exact example, and it's not criminalizing brown people.
So what I'll do is we'll work on our messaging. We'll keep this discussion very civil. And again, my promise for you today is that I will speak to the GOP. We will talk about our messaging to make sure it is articulated in a way in which it captures other organizations. We will do that.
Okay, actually, something that doesn't require you going to the GOP, you just having a message that you denounce the ads that Gillespie came out with about MS-13.
So why would I be the one to denounce the messages that Ed put out to
Because it's
go
part
ahead.
of the
and
same
say-
party. It's Virginia, same party. I know that you don't fall in line with the same thing, but like,
But that's why you should. You should.
why would you do it?
Republican.
Because you disagree with
But
it.
you're negotiating based on your own needs, and I'm negotiating based on the needs of the community. You want me to denounce Ed Gillespie's ad because this is what you want. This is not what I want. What I want is to make sure that we're addressing the critical concern, which to me is MS-13 and transnational criminal organizations. But I'm not going to start by saying, hey, Ed, you need to take that ad down. Hey, Ralph, you need to take your ad down too, because it just doesn't meet the requirement. No, what I'm saying is let us work on the messaging starting now, moving forward, so that the mistakes that we may have made in the past are not going to be mistakes in the future. And again,
The ads are still running.
they are running, but what I'm telling you is that this leadership engagement is something that will not just happen overnight. But what I'm telling you is I'm taking the time to address it now and promising you that I will talk to the GOP and we will work on our messages to make sure that it is all inclusive. And I think that's a fair argument and a fair conclusion of what you're asking of me. And I'm happy to engage you guys after this, but I really would like to get home to call my daughter. Is that all right?
Oh,
So
you're
again,
criminalized.
formally.
daughter. Okay.
So
Oh, you're
again,
criminalized. daughter.
formally.
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
formally,
Most importantly, I have seen.
How do we ensure that's not criminalizing our community?
yeah.
How do we ensure that people
By
are not
gang
deported?
injunctions.
So deportation is a different discussion. You cannot couple.
It's the same.
No. It
is.
cannot
There's
be
a
made the
bill.
same when you're asking about a gun control for a transnational criminal organization. Now we're coupling deportation, which is immigration, which again, I can talk about that. So from an immigration ICE perspective, that's an entirely different discussion. We're talking about the DACA, which I've been on record for protecting DACA and the Dreamers, things that we're talking
What about
about
their
right
parents?
now. So, but again, I've been on record for protecting the folks that came over under DACA and President Obama.
So other
has-
people are
not their
undeserving.
parents.
So you're asking a loaded question. What I'm
It's
telling
not
you is
loaded.